after almost 2 months. Nothing. Hi friends, welcome to my channel. So, over 4 years ago, I used to work long hours in corporate tax and accounting. Now, I run my own bookkeeping firm and I made over $100,000 on Upwork. Hi, my name is Raymond, a certified public accountant, and I used to be a corporate employee. Now I'm a freelance CFO and bookkeeper while working from home and building my own firm. In this video, I would like to share the real story of how I earned over $100,000 on Upwork, including the challenges, the lessons, and finally what worked for me. So if you are interested on how online freelancing worked, this video is for you. Upwork is a very crowded platform. For you to be able to land with high value clients, you really need to stand out. But the good news is you don't need a ton of credentials to get started. In April 2021, a friend of mine approached me and mentioned about Upwork and other online freelancing platform where I can find online bookkeeping jobs. At that time, I just left my corporate job as a bank auditor, so I got curious and I gave it a shot. I created my profile, start sending proposals, I watched YouTube videos, I joined webinars, and I got really excited about this opportunity. But after almost 2 months, nothing. No replies, no interviews, not even getting noticed by any client. So I asked myself, does this online thing even work? Or is this a scam or just a waste of my time? So I even started applying to corporate jobs again, but I did not give up on Upwork completely. Then I had an idea. What if I created fake client account to see how top freelancers are sending proposals and to see how they are designing their profiles. So I went ahead, create a client account, post a job because it's free to do it in Upwork. And that's where I came up with the idea. That experiment opened my eyes. I learned what made a proposal in stand out and what professional portfolio or profiles looks like, and what are the things that I need to avoid adding or not adding or doing in my proposals. So after 3 months and almost 120 proposals or more than 120 proposals, I finally landed my first client, which is just a 5 hours per week, $6 per hour. It wasn't that much, but it was the start of everything. When I landed my first client on Upwork, it wasn't that much, just $6 per hour and 5 hours a week. But to me, it was the proof that I needed that these online opportunities really work. That was all the motivation that I needed. After that, I focused on one thing, doing great work. I made sure my reports were clear, I communicated well, and I treated my clients' business as if they were mine. At the same time, I kept improving my skills. I knew that communication was one of my weaknesses, so I followed a YouTuber named Antonio Parlate to improve my English communication skills. My English is still terrible, but back then it was honestly garbage. So watching these videos helped me gain confidence to negotiate to conversation with my client face up. So I also follow Josh Borns. He was one of the few Upwork millionaires and he does videos about how to do things in Upwork, what to avoid, and all of those stuff. So I follow Josh Borns to make sure I do the same, or I follow his lead on how to do things in Upwork. I also follow the official channel of Upwork in YouTube, so that way I would know what are the updates in Upwork, what are the future plans in Upwork, and what are the things to watch out in Upwork, and what are the do's and don'ts for this new algorithm that they're coming up. So I also studied most popular accounting softwares like QuickBooks Online, Zero, uh, Zoho Books, FreshBooks, Wave, and I made sure I am familiar with their features, even the advanced one like how to account for projects in QuickBooks, how to do tagging, or how to use forecasting in those softwares. So I could add real value to my clients. Even my typing speed wasn't that great before. So on slack time or on my break time, I practice keyboarding. I use the software called 10fastfingers.com during my free time, aiming to hit at least 45 words per minute. So whenever I had an upcoming client interview, these are new clients coming in, I would rehearse my self introduction because that's one of the most common questions during interview. Introduce yourself. So I would rehearse my self introduction 3 minutes before the meeting starts, and I always include quick stories that showed how I bring value to my previous clients. One of the example that I said is last week I helped a client cancel 4 software subscriptions that they are no longer using, and that helped them save a few $100s. Another one is 2 months ago, a client of mine reached out to me about his cash flow problems. So I introduced him profit first model, and I helped him follow up clients with overdue accounts receivable, and that helped improve the health of his cash flow after a month. So I wasn't just offering bookkeeping, I was helping my clients solve their problems, and they will always remember that. At one point, I realized I didn't just wanted to be a freelancer forever. I wanted to build some kind of an online bookkeeping firm. That's when I started creating systems. I documented how I prepare my reports, how I onboard my clients, and how I track deadlines. These systems helped me deliver faster and started getting long-term retainers from clients. Also, this helps me do the work easier because the way I do it last month would be the same as how I will be going to do it this month. I also found a niche that really needed what I offered. US law firms, they needed specific requirements or they have specific needs like trust reconciliations, monthly financial reporting, and some are needs bookkeeping cleanups. So when I focused on one niche, it becomes easier to market my services, especially that I am now familiar with their industry or the problems that they might have encountered already or they're going to encounter if they are not going to implement these processes or systems, or they don't account for their transactions this way. Looking back, here are some of the most important lessons I learned in my first $100,000 journey in Upwork. Number one, small wins matter. That $6 hour job, that was the key that opened the door. Don't underestimate small beginnings. They build your confidence, your profile, and your momentum. Number two, volume matters at the start. I sent over 120 proposals before I got hired. At first, I thought it was not noticed, but later I realized that everyone goes through that stage. So don't take rejections personally, and just keep going and keep improving yourself. Number three, you have to treat this like serious business. Clients notice you when you're serious. You be on time, be reliable, communicate really well, and deliver high quality work. Even if it is just you and your laptop, nobody's watching you work, act like you're running a business because you actually are. Number four, you specialize. The more specific your services is, the easier it is to scale it up, and the easier it is to attract high value clients. Number five is you invest in yourself continuously. I didn't get here by accident or by chance or by some kind of luck. I'm here because I keep learning. I keep improving my communication, testing softwares and tools, watching video tutorials, and even tracking my growth. I even invested time to improve my typing speed. You don't need a degree in freelancing. You don't need to be a CPA. You don't need to be actually have studied in a formal school about accounting or bookkeeping. While watching this video and you're from the Philippines just like me, I wanted to tell you, you can do it. You don't need the best in the world to be the best in the world. You just need to show up and be reliable and do your work with excellence. If you are willing to learn, take a feedback from the client, be consistent, your first $100,000 journey might not be too far off. Hey, if this video helped or inspired you, give it a like and subscribe for more videos about freelancing, bookkeeping, and working online coming soon. If you're struggling to land clients, comment below, need help with Upwork. I might share how I prepare my proposals or even share a sample of my proposals or do a free profile review in the next video. Thanks for watching. Remember, small consistent steps leads to big results. Have a great day.